Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see all about how to install dbt core, set up your first dbt project, and build a simple model using Snowflake. I'm sure this video will be a great way to start transforming your data using dbt. Some of the prerequisites are you need to have Python installed, you need to have an active Snowflake account, you also need an IDE. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code as my IDE. The first step is to check the Python installation. I'm opening the Visual Studio Code terminal. In this, I'm going to type Python 3 version. You should see something like this. I have Python 3.9 installed in my device. The next step is to set up Python virtual environment. Before we set up the virtual environment, let's install the dbt extension. In order to do that, I'm going to extension and search for dbt and install the dbt extension. In my case, my dbt extension is already installed. Now let's set up the Python virtual environment. I'm going to set up the Python virtual environment in this location. So let me select the path and go to this location. In this location, I'm going to set up the virtual environment. In order to do that, I'm going to type Python 3 -m venv. I'm going to name my virtual environment as dbt venv. Now let's create the virtual environment. The virtual environment is created. Let's go to this path. We see that the virtual environment is created. Now let's activate the virtual environment. In order to do that, source dbt venv, that is my virtual environment name, /bin/activate. My virtual environment is activated. Once the virtual environment is activated, you will see the virtual environment name in the prompt. The third step is to install dbt. Let's install dbt for Snowflake using pip3 install dbt Snowflake. This command is to install dbt core along with Snowflake adapter. Let's do the installation. The installation is successfully completed. To confirm if dbt is installed, let's type dbt version dbt version. We have the dbt core successfully installed and the Snowflake adapter is also installed. The next step is to initialize your dbt project. Before we initialize the dbt project, I'm going to Snowflake and create a new database. My database name is mydemodb. Let me create this database. MyDemoDB database is successfully created. Inside my database, I'm going to create a schema. My schema name is MySchema. The schema is also successfully created. Inside that, I'm going to create a dimension table. My dimension table name is dim_customer, which has the customer ID, customer name, customer email, country, sign up date, and is active details. Let me create my table. My table is successfully created. Let me insert few records. Seven records are successfully added. Let me select my table. Here is the data. Now let's initialize the dbt project. Let me go to the terminal. We are going to initialize the dbt project using dbt init command. Dbt init. I'm going to name my project as customer project. It is asking which database would you like to connect. In our case, it is Snowflake. We need to provide the account name. Let's get the account name from the Snowflake. Let me go to the accounts, view account details. Let me select the account identifier. Next, we need to provide our username. Here is my username. Next, we need to provide the password. Next, we need to provide the role. Let me go to Snowflake. My role is account admin. Next, we need to provide the warehouse name. My warehouse name is compute_wh. Next, we need to provide the database name. My database name is MyDemoDB. Next, we need to provide the schema name. My schema name is MySchema. Next, we need to provide the threads. Let's provide 1. This creates a new folder in your project. Let's go to my location. We have the project successfully created. In the project folder, we have a file dbtproject.yaml. Here we have the project name, version, the profile name, the model, analytics path, test and seed, everything created. Let me go to the folder location. And we also have a model directory created. We have a couple of sample models also created. The next step is to set up your Snowflake profile. While initializing your DBT project, we see a note that profile customer project returned to .dbt folder profile.yaml. Let's go to the profile.yaml. I'm into the .dbt folder. Inside that, we see that profile.yaml file is created. Let's open this file. DBT connects to the Snowflake using this profile. Here is our project name and we have the account details. If you wanted to make any changes to your connection string, you can do it here. You can make sure your account name, database name, credentials, role, schema, and all these details matches with your Snowflake. The next step is to test the Snowflake connection from DBT. In order to test the connection, let's go to the project directory. Here is our project directory. We are into the project directory. Now let's type dbt debug. If everything is set up correctly, you will see all check passed. That means that the connection to Snowflake from DBT is successfully established. The last step is to create your first model in DBT. Now that our connection is set up and our database is ready, it's time to create our first DBT model. In DBT, a model is simply a .sql file that contains a select query. In our scenario, using the dimension customer table, I'm going to select only the active customers on each countries. So in the where class, I have isActive as true and group by country. And I'm creating this as a CTE. Let's run this query. Here is the active customers for each country. Now I'm going to copy this query and go to models folder and create my first model. Here is my project and go to models. And I'm going to paste it inside the sample model. Here I'm going to paste this query. I'm also going to create this as a table. So I have mentioned materialized equals to table. You can also use view or incremental. I have mentioned as table for this demo to keep it simple. Let's save this model. Let me go back to the model folder again. We don't need the second model. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to create a customer fact table. My table name is fact underscore customer. Let me open my model and make sure everything looks good. Everything looks good. To run the model and create the table in Snowflake, we have to use dbt run command. We ran the model successfully. Now let's go to Snowflake and see if our fact table is successfully created. Let me go to Snowflake and let me select our fact table, fact underscore customer. This is our table name. We see that the fact table is successfully created. You have successfully installed dbt, connected to Snowflake. You have created your first working model. From here, you can start adding more models, test and documentation. I hope you like this video and I'm sure that you learned something new today. If you do like this video, please consider to subscribe and I'll see you in yet another interesting video. Thank you.